Parts of a plant. We all know what plants look like, we've seen them often enough, but do we know what all the parts are and what the parts are doing for the plant? If you look carefully at a plant, there are all sorts of specialist parts, and many plants are very specialised for what they do. Think for a moment, how is it that pine trees don't freeze in the winter? The pitcher plant, the sundew plant, the Venus flytrap, all of these very, very, very specialised parts of their anatomy. So we're going to look a little bit at parts of a plant. So first of all, we have the roots. Then we have the stem. We have leaves. And we also have a flower. Each of these parts has its own very special job to do. Now, roots have a couple of main jobs that they need to do. First of all, they hold the plant firmly in the ground so that it doesn't fall over. And secondly, they absorb. They also absorb water and dissolved minerals. To do this, they have to have a very large surface area. The stem also has a couple of jobs to do. It supports or holds up the leaves and the flowers so that they can get the sunlight they need, or the wind to carry the pollen or be available to insects. And it transports water up from the roots off up into the leaves and to the flower. It also transports the dissolved minerals up from the roots, which the plant needs to grow and to keep healthy with. And the other thing it transports is the glucose that's made from the leaves back into the plant. Now, the glucose is really important for the plant because that's what it uses for energy. Now, the water has come from the roots, been absorbed, so the rain falls onto the soil, it goes into the soil and the roots absorb it. As the water from the rain moves through the soil, it dissolves minerals in it, which the plant needs for growing, and that also gets taken up by the roots into the plant. And the leaves do this wonderful thing called photosynthesis. And this produces glucose that gives us energy, or gives the plant energy for growth. Leaves are the solar panels of plants. They absorb energy from the sun that the plant can then use. This process is called photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide from the air enters the leaf, and water from the roots also enters the leaf. Glucose and oxygen are produced by this process of photosynthesis. The oxygen is a waste product, and that's put out into the air. That's really handy for us because we breathe it. The glucose is used by the plant to grow. It's also handy for us because we use that glucose as energy in our food when we eat plants. The purpose of a flower is for reproduction, to make new plants. That's the sexual organs of a plant. Plants produce pollen and ovules in their flowers, and when these mix together, they produce seeds.